That instrumental song was by Tara Mays. The song was called Trapeze, and it was off of their CD called Her Halo. Before that, you heard Black Sabbath with When Death Calls off of Headless Cross. Tony Martin on vocals there. This wraps up, at least temporarily, Mostly Metal. I'm Ken the Metal Professor. I hope you've enjoyed the music for the last hour and a half. It's now time to talk a little bit of wrestling. If you listen in this 8 to 10 block, you know that every once in a while, a couple times a month, in a good month every week, but, you know, things happen, things don't happen, whatever. I like to talk about one of my other hobbies, either having people in the studio or playing audio coverage of a wrestling event, or just kind of telling you what's coming up soon, and that's what I'm going to do now, because we are entering a wrestling busy season as the summer starts winding down and the fall season starts getting up in pace. So I'll tell you some of the shows coming up in the area and let you hear some of the jabbering that some of the wrestlers have been doing at each other via Facebook. I will be away for the next 2 weeks. That doesn't mean that you won't have new music. As your gracious host of Mostly Metal, I am preparing 2 shows to put in the can so that Superstation manager Greg Kovach can plug into the programming stream so that you'll still hear Mostly Metal next Sunday night and the Sunday after from 8 to 10. They'll just be prepared in advance. Next week, you're going to hear some new music. And one of the songs that you'll hear is, what do you call it, Viking metal, folk metal, Viking metal, by Finsterforst, called Ecce Homo. This is a brand new CD. It's going to be a 37-minute long song, so that's going to be interesting. And you can also hear new Skin Lab and Contortionist and Ardors, and then some old Symphony X, Pain of Salvation, Rush, you know, the usual kinds of stuff. That'll be next week. And then in 2 weeks, you are going to have a solid hour of Iron Maiden, because they have yet another set of studio remasters coming out. The Studio Collection Remastered 3, so I'm going to play a couple of tracks off of that. And I'm also going to go into the collection and play Iron Maiden tracks from lots of different albums for an entire hour. That's 2 Sundays from now. That will be August 11th, because they'll be playing in Chicago at the Outdoor Amphitheater, whatever the heck it's called now, out in Tinley Park, on, I believe it's August 22nd. Don't quote me on that, but it's coming up in August. And so to get us all excited, and if you're going to get tickets, get them quick, because I took a look in the only pavilion seats. There's like a dozen left, and they're all over $200. So at this point, it's lawn or nothing unless you're going to really dig into that wallet. But yeah, Iron Maiden's coming to town, the Legacy of the Beast tour, and so 2 Sundays from now there will be a solid hour of Iron Maiden. And then that week, the second hour, I hope, will be delayed audio coverage of the next Backbreaker wrestling show, but that depends if I can get to it this coming Saturday night before I go out of town. But anyway, it's time for the Northwest Indiana Wrestling Action Program.
Your insubordination will not be tolerated.
This is now the Northwest Indiana Wrestling Action Program. I'm Ken the Metal Professor. This is WVLP, Valparaiso's only nonprofit, all-volunteer community radio station at 103.1 FM. I like wrestling. I like heavy metal. And so I get to talk about both of them on the air. What I'm going to do here is just give you a rundown of some of the shows that are coming up soon, because we're hitting a busy season. This coming weekend, August 3rd, right before the break, you heard me mention the next Backbreaker Wrestling show, and that is coming up this coming Saturday, August 3rd, Backbreaker Wrestling Superslam. A couple of weeks ago, if you were listening, you heard Cade Lee and Lynn and new Legacy champion Dick Davis all in the studio talking about this show. Some of the matches on the show are going to be Drex Odell versus Billy the Kid. Drex is going to be having a championship match in November, but this one is still in his way. And Trog the Caveman, the Backbreaker champion, will be taking on Kevin Graves. And there's been some jabber with the folks in some of these matches that are coming up. And so I'm going to let you listen to some of that jabber. So first of all, this isn't jabber. This is just Backbreaker Wrestling owner, general manager, co-owner, Cade Lee, telling you about the show. And so instead of me running it down, I'm going to let you hear it in his words. This is taken from a video he posted to Facebook.
Hey, Backbreaker Wrestling fans, Cade Lee here, and I just wanted to touch base with you guys as we are about a week out from August 3rd, Superslam event. I just wanted to give you guys a rundown, let you know how the show is going to go a little bit. And we are going to open the show with a bang. The opening match to the show will be the first ever defense of the Backbreaker Wrestling Legacy Championship when Dick Davis defends against Matt Dewar. Later on in the night, the main event will be the Masters defending the Backbreaker Wrestling Tag Team Championships against the Bambinos. And in between there, we'll see number one contender for the Heavyweight Championship, Drex Odell, take on Billy the Kid. And I almost feel like we need a splatter shield for the first couple of rows for that match. That match will be extremely hard-hitting, and these guys are already ready to be at each other's throats. High Society will be taking on Fury and Raid. It'll be the first time we see Fury and Raid as a tag team at Backbreaker Wrestling. That should be a good one. Trog the Caveman will be taking on Mr. Beautiful Kevin Graves. And we'll have a Johnny Motley against Jake Roan, which promises to be a classic. We're rooting for both of you guys, unless you're Jake Roan's dad, who's rooting for Johnny Motley. Weird. So the show is absolutely stacked. It is going to be a great time. I hope you guys don't miss it. You definitely do not want to miss this one leading into November's Mega Clash. And the other business I have, again, is Kurt Joseph. Some of you had saw before, he had Kevin Graves deliver me a letter. And it was, I didn't elaborate much on it yet, but it was basically legal documentation, him alleging that I wasn't fit to run the company because I put my hands on him, which I did. And it cited I did push Drex Odell one time. And I can own up to that. I shouldn't have done that. I'm the owner of a company. I'm not a combatant in the company. But I have since received another letter from Kurt Joseph, again alleging that I am not fit to do my job, that he is more fit to do my job, and him and his lawyer have requested that I make a public statement and agree that I will not put my hands on him at Superslam, and this is a condition of him showing up or not. So I will not put my hands on you at August 3rd on Superslam. I will not touch you. You don't have to worry about me, and you shouldn't be. Because when you show up in the main event, you and Shooter have the Bambino boys. And I think you're going to have your hands full with them. So get me out of your mind and get ready for that. We'll see you there. So, Backbreaker fans, I can't wait to see you guys there. Get your tickets are available now at Creative Comics and Hammond Mufflers, like always. And hopefully we see you guys on August 3rd at Superslam.
That was Cade Lee running down the action at the upcoming Backbreaker Wrestling event Superslam this Saturday, August 3rd in Griffith at the St. Mary Hildebrandt Hall complex. As he was describing his promise to keep his hands off of Kurt Joseph, I was listening really closely to see if he left himself any loopholes, and it was pretty tight. It was ironclad, so maybe he is actually gonna hold up to that. I know he probably wants to get his hands on Kurt Joseph, but he probably knows that discretion is the better part of valor, at least in this case for now. You heard him mention Drex Odell versus Billy the Kid, so let's hear what these guys have to say to each other. Here's Drex Odell.
Backbreaker wrestling fans, I don't know about you, but I personally cannot wait until November, when I finally get my shot at the Backbreaker Wrestling Heavyweight Championship. That's right, me. Now, if you missed the last Backbreaker Wrestling show, and shame on you if you did, you missed me becoming the #1 contender when I won the 8-man over-the-top gauntlet, out-surviving the likes of Gabe the Brave and Jeff Steeples and Jake Rohn and Tony Versace and Dave Allen. And, you know, it doesn't matter. You know, and on August 3rd, Trog and Kevin Graves are supposed to face off. And personally, I don't even know if it's a championship match because I really don't care. It doesn't matter who I face in November. For all I know, it's not a championship match, and it's just like my match I have booked August 3rd. You know, a warm-up match, a tune-up match, a sparring match, if you will. Because Drex Odell is going against the likes of Billy. I took your best shot and I still got up. The Kid. Billy, when the history of Backbreaker Wrestling is written, you're going to be nothing more than a footnote, if you're lucky. All the memories that you're trying to create right now, they're going to be lost in time. Like tears in the rain, mate. Billy, August 3rd. It's time to die, Billy.
That was Drex Odell speaking to Billy the Kid. Drex is a man of many words. Billy the Kid is a man of few words. Here's what he had to say to Drex.
All you do is talk trash, Drex. All you do, I read it on Facebook and yakety, calling me a tune-up match. Yeah, I traded blows with you. You swung at me. You gave me your best shot, and what happened? I stood back up and I cracked you right back in the face. Don't you be looking past me, boy. Don't be thinking that I'm just some practice shot. Come August 3rd, I'm going to hit you so hard, I'm going to take years off your career. And you know what? By the end of the night, you might not even be seeing Trog at the next show. Think about that, boy.
Also on the card at Backbreaker Wrestling's Superslam is High Society against Austin Fury and Rick Raid. Here is what High Society has to say about that.
Tom, baby, what's going on? What's up? What's up? What's up? Calm down. Cool it.
Last Backbreaker show.
Yep, go ahead.
I didn't become Legacy Champion.
Okay.
I lost to Dick Davis.
Okay.
I didn't become Legacy Champion. And now, to make it worse, we have to take on two snot-nosed punks, Fury and Raid. This business is going downhill.
Wait. Before you go any further, think
What?
about it. We've got the money. We've got the watches. There's only one legacy we need to worry about, and that's High Society. Our story.
You know what? You're right.
Let's do
Let's
this.
go to Backbreaker. Let's beat Raid and Fury.
I like where your head's at. August 3rd, High Society returns. This time, Young Money is here with his man TBK. Ain't nothing gonna happen. Cash rules everything.
So there you have it. Lots of good matches coming up August 3rd at Backbreaker Wrestling in Griffith. Look for the Backbreaker Wrestling Facebook page for more details and for the videos that went with that audio that I snipped out of Facebook. Now, if you don't want to go to Griffith for your wrestling on August 3rd, you can head over to Dalton, Illinois for IPW, the Illiana Professional Wrestling, I think is what it's for. With our friend Excalibur on the card. He was the familiar person I saw there. Again, you can search on IPW in Dalton, Illinois for that information. Global Pro Wrestling over in Posen, Illinois at the Posen Civic Center. GPW Supernova, also on August 3rd. So August 3rd, you got 3 different options. They're all going to be at the same time, though, so you can't go from one to the other. I'm going to be on my way out of town on August 3rd. I hope I will be able to figure out a way to hit the Backbreaker show with the recording gear so that I can bring back some sounds from that event for you the following week on August 11th. And that would be pre-recorded as well. August 10th, there are going to be two shows that I know of. One is in the immediate vicinity. ARWPRO, Adrenaline Ringside Wrestling, at the Texas Roadhouse on Route 6 in Portage. This is a fundraiser. It's called a Headlock on Hunger 5. So you can tell this has been going on for several years. It's a fundraiser for the local food pantry in Portage. And they have the usual ARWPRO crew, such as the family, on hand. And some familiar names are coming in. Buff Bagwell's going to be there. He's going to take on Ivan Manson. Carlito is coming in. He's going to face Nick Cutler. Al Snow will be in the house. Well, not in the house. This is outdoors in the Texas Roadhouse parking lot, unless it's raining, I suppose. And I'm not so sure about this one, but the newest flyer has a picture of Ron Simmons. So it's possible that Ron Simmons will be on hand. Chavo Guerrero was originally on the card, but he had to back out. And maybe they got Ron Simmons to replace him. So search for Adrenaline Ringside Wrestling, ARWPRO Live on Facebook for more details about that fundraiser. If you're heading east on August 10th, you can go to FWF, Functified Wrestling Federation. They have a card called Forcing the Action out in Warsaw. And then also that weekend is WWE SummerSlam. That's Sunday, August 11th. Normally I don't talk about the national scene. I focus on the local scene. But that's one of the big four, right? WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. Those are the big four granddaddies. So they're always fun. Let's see. August 16th, Revolution Championship Wrestling's cards Storm Zero. This will be in Mishawaka. Now, just last week, you heard the delayed audio coverage of RCW's previous show, the 11th annual Slam Cancer Benefit Show. This one, RCW Storm Zero, has special guest James Storm coming in. And they also have Kevin Storm on the RCW roster. So again, this will be August 16th. That one I hope to go out to and bring the recording gear again. Nick Cutler versus Ames on that show. Mojo the Voodoo King versus Jeff Steeples versus Shane Foster in a three-way. El Mano del Diablo versus Mario Crivello versus Joey Avalon versus Zach Call in a fatal four-way. And Russell Jones versus Anthony Lee. That's a couple of big men that are going to go at it. And perhaps Storm versus Storm. The RCW head crew were apparently having a meeting at somebody's house, and they filmed a little bit of it with Kevin Storm arguing to Brutus Dillon and others why he should be having a match with James Storm. And let's listen in.
So, thank you guys for my birthday party tonight. That was freaking sweet.
You're welcome.
Very
Awesome
welcome.
cake.
You're welcome, man.
Yeah, it was awesome.
August 16th. We haven't really talked about anything yet, and we announced James Storm.
I saw that.
Yeah. It'd be awesome.
And we don't have opponents. Well, I have one in mind for myself, but I guess you don't really have an opponent.
Yeah, about that. You know, all I've ever wanted to do since I was 3 years old was be a wrestler, right? It's all I've ever wanted to do.
Oh, yeah.
Randy Savage, Arn Anderson, Ric Flair, Triple H, Edge, all these guys have been my idols. And in 03 and 04, I got turned on to a new company. You know, Impact Wrestling. And there was one dude there that when I said if I could ever be myself wrestling, I wanted to be myself. And James Storm was and is who I have always been. I'm a redneck, I work hard, I'm blue collar, and I don't give a shit what people think about me. I am me and who I am, whether you like me or not. I have looked up to James Storm ever since the first time I saw him as America's Most Wanted. And I call my elbow drop the Last Call elbow as a tribute to James Storm. August 16th, For God's sakes, dude, my name is Kevin Storm. It is a tribute to James Storm as well.
He's got a point.
Yeah.
Are you sure that this is really what you want?
I'm more sure about this than anything. We tried this 3 years ago at Worlds Collide, and we couldn't make the deal happen. Here it is. We have him. What?
What are you looking at? What?
It's
I thought I saw something.
It's the cat, dude. The
Dude,
cat's
it's my damn
upstairs.
cat.
I'm sorry,
the
man. I'm
cat.
paranoid, man. Like,
See? It was the cat.
look, I'm paranoid, man. I have to watch my back. You already know what happened last Friday. Like,
Let's not worry about
done.
that.
Relax, bro.
all right.
Relax.
Do you really think
We're
his
chilling.
balls are big enough to come into my house?
I would hope not.
He can't get over my fence outside.
Well, that is very true.
He can't get over.
Anyways, so
Yeah,
you
let's
want
Over.
James Storm August 16th.
Yes.
That's what you want.
More than anything. Kevin Storm versus James Storm.
I mean, Storm and Storm, it's pretty catchy.
I mean,
I've had my taste of what it's like to be in the heavyweight division finally. Russ Jones beat my ass all over the ring. And I'm still standing. I'm back for more. I need this. If nothing else, I need this to be able to say, I'm good enough to be Brutus Dillon's tag partner.
I mean, if that's what you want,
That's what I want.
all we got to do is just talk to Blackwell and get this signed, sealed, and delivered.
JB Blackwell, if you hear this and you see this, make it happen.
Sounds good to me.
It'd be a hell of a match.
I'm all for it.
All for it.
If this is what you really want, then go for it, dude.
Because at the end of the night on August 16th, if you make this happen, Blackwell, James Storm, sorry about your damn luck.
So Kevin Storm asking for a match against James Storm at Storm Zero for Revolution Championship Wrestling, August 16th in Mishawaka, Indiana at the Battelle Center. Could be a case of be careful what you wish for. Now, you heard during that little clip that they were slightly distracted by catching something out of the corner of their eye. And you may remember from coverage last week of the previous RCW event that Jorge Bravo has been a thorn in their sides. And while they were sitting around talking about James Storm on this very long L-shaped sectional couch, Jorge Bravo's head peeked up from behind the couch a couple of times, but then he would duck down before anybody saw him. That was pretty funny. So go to YouTube and check out that video, Revolution Championship Wrestling. Looking ahead, September, Sunday, September 1st, Warrior Wrestling 6 in Chicago Heights. It's a fundraiser for the Catholic school out there. It's always a good time. Big names coming in, including Mick Foley. So you can go to warriorwrestling.com to check out tickets for that. And looking way ahead, this is just something that I'm aware of at the moment. There's plenty of other stuff between now and then, but October 12th, New Generation Wrestling is having a 12 tag team tournament called Quest for the Cup at the Montgomery County Fairgrounds down in Crawfordsville, and hopefully I will be there to record the sounds of some of the action for you. So just a quick recap here. August 3rd, Backbreaker Wrestling in Griffith. Go check that out. If not, also on August 3rd, IPW in Dalton, Illinois. Global Pro Wrestling in Posen, Illinois. You can find all this stuff on Facebook. On August 10th, you have ARWPRO at Texas Roadhouse doing the fundraiser Headlock on Hunger 5. Texas Roadhouse in Portage on Route 6, so not far from here at all. Buff Bagwell's coming in, Carlito, Al Snow, and maybe Ron Simmons. Also on August 10th, if you want to go east, FWF is having a show in Warsaw. WWE SummerSlam on August 11th. August 16th, Revolution Championship Wrestling Storm Zero at the Battelle Center in Mishawaka. I hope to be there. And then, again, looking farther into the distance, September 1st, Warrior Wrestling 6. And we'll hear lots more about the New Generation Tag Team Tournament over the next couple of months. So that is the end of the Northwest Indiana Wrestling Action Program. I just wanted to give you a quick overview of some of the opportunities you have to see some shows coming up in the near future. And I'm pretty close to the top of the hour, so I can't squeeze in a whole lot of music. But let me give it a try. If everybody out there thinks really hard about a heavy metal tune you might like to listen to, maybe I will pick up your vibes and I'll be able to select it to play. And I'm getting it. Oh boy, what am I getting here? I better be getting something that I can play in 3 minutes or less. I'll have to fade out whatever it is here. But how about let's see. How about some? You can tell I'm clicking through. I had to switch over from the wrestling clips to my music folder, and so now I'm fumbling here. How about Dynasty with Roar of the Underdog?